in any given year, we have about 800 plus patients come here inpatient, admitted to the hospital for a burn injury. For kids, it's a lot of scald burn, so pulling down hot coffee on themselves, water heaters that are set above 120, and they get a scald burn from turning on the hot water. For adults, there's a lot of cooking accidents, so leaving food unattended and coming back to a grease fire in a pan, or shirts catching fire when they're cooking. All of those are really devastating injuries and lifelong injuries. During the inpatient stay here at Loyola, we do have a social worker, we have psychologists who are able to provide support in the hospital. Afterwards, we do have a support group that meets once a month. We have peer support volunteers who are able to provide peer support. They are burn survivors themselves, able to talk to burn survivors in the hospital or recently out of the hospital. Also, Camp IME has a variety of aftercare programming, from our week-long sleepaway camp for pediatric burn survivors. We recently had a young adult retreat. We have family days, and Camp IME is also partnering with our support group to make sure that we're getting that information out there. I think that connection is the key. When I can come in and give them all the experience I have as a social worker, but meeting someone else who's been through that same situation, has gone through those dressing changes, has gone through rehab, has figured out how to re-enter the world, going in public spaces with visible scars, how do you answer questions, how do you deal with that emotion, is really something that I don't have personal experience with, but connecting with other burn survivors who have is absolutely key to that recovery. The camp is a week-long sleepaway camp. We do camp things, so high ropes, climbing tower, horseback riding, archery, kind of all of those things that every kid would do at camp. I think one thing we're really good at is making sure every kid can participate in every activity regardless of their limitations. It happens inevitably every year that the brand new kids come and they've got their long sleeves on, it's boiling hot out, they don't want to show their scars, and no later than 4 hours are they running to the pool in their swimsuit and a towel. So I think it's just that understanding for them that they are not alone, and that all these other kids are having such a good week, they're going to have that same good week. One of the ones that really sticks out to me is a young woman who was here probably about 7 or 8 years ago. There was an explosion in her home, and her father were both injured, and she had a really hard time. She was young, she was probably 13 when the injury happened. We unfortunately had to shave her hair due to the burn injury. And so when she came to camp that following summer, she still had really short hair. She was very self-conscious about it, and she was not particularly happy that we encouraged her strongly to come to camp. And so she had a wig the whole entire week at camp. And that last day, on the day that we have the dance, we have professional stylists come in and help the kids with their makeup and their hair. And she came out ready for the dance with her short hair, all styled. She was really nervous. I remember having a conversation with her before the dance about how nervous she was about what people were gonna say, but she went out there and confidently went into the dance. That child is now an adult. She is planning to be a nurse and looking forward to helping other people in similar situations. But the confidence that she got, listening to her talk about how she approaches other people about her scars, she does have visible scars, is, the confidence is through the roof. And I think a lot of that has to do with being part of that burn survivor community.